Imagine your body hitting reset, deep cellular spring cleaning, inflammation dropping, your mind clearing. Stay with us as we unpack the science behind this ancient yet revolutionary practice.
Please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Check the description for trusted sponsors and ways to support the show.
Fasting for 36 hours straight might sound like torture. But what if this ancient practice holds the key to cellular regeneration and longevity? The science behind it is absolutely mind-blowing.
That's fascinating. You bring this up because I recently completed my first 36-hour fast, also known as the monk fast. The experience was completely different from what I expected.
Well, let me tell you, the research on this is incredible. During extended fasting, your body kicks into this remarkable process called autophagy, where it literally starts cleaning out damaged cells. It's like giving your internal systems a deep spring cleaning.
Yes, you know what surprised me the most? Around hour 24, I experienced this unexpected mental clarity. It was like someone had lifted a fog from my brain.
That's exactly what researchers have found. There's this protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, that increases during fasting. Think of it as miracle grow for your brain cells. Did you notice any changes in your productivity during that clear-headed phase?
Oh my goodness, yes. I actually managed to solve this complex work problem I'd been stuck on for days. Though I should mention those first 18 hours were, well, let's just say they were interesting.
You know, speaking of those challenging early hours, the science behind hunger waves is fascinating. Our bodies actually adapt to fasting periods by adjusting ghrelin levels. That's our hunger hormone. What strategies did you use to push through those initial hurdles?
Well, black coffee became my best friend, and I discovered that staying busy was crucial. But here's what really helped. Understanding the metabolic switch that happens during extended fasting.
Ah, yes, metabolic flexibility. It's like upgrading your car from running on just gasoline to being able to use multiple fuel sources. Your body becomes incredibly efficient at switching between burning glucose and fat. The research shows this can have lasting benefits even after the fast ends.
That makes so much sense because I noticed my energy levels became more stable even days after completing the fast. Though I have to say, breaking the fast properly was just as important as the fast itself.
Let's talk about that because it's crucial. Studies show that refeeding syndrome can be a serious concern if you break a fast incorrectly. What was your approach to ending the 36 hours?
I started with warm bone broth, waited an hour, then had small portions of easily digestible fruits. The whole process of reintroducing food took several hours.
That's a smart strategy, you know. Research from longevity experts suggests that this careful approach to breaking a fast can actually enhance the benefits. Speaking of benefits, the data on inflammation reduction is particularly impressive. Some studies show up to a 50% decrease in inflammatory markers after extended fasting.
I can actually speak to that. The chronic knee pain I usually experience noticeably improved, and the effect lasted for several days afterward.
The anti-inflammatory effects are just the tip of the iceberg. Recent studies have shown that regular 36-hour fasting can increase autophagy markers by up to 300%. That's potentially huge for cellular health and longevity. Did you track any other health markers during your fast?
I monitored my heart rate variability and blood glucose levels. The results were fascinating. My glucose stability improved significantly, and my HRV showed better stress resilience.
Those metrics align perfectly with what researchers are finding about metabolic health improvements. But I think it's crucial to mention that while these benefits are impressive, fasting isn't for everyone. What precautions did you take before starting?
Well, first I consulted with my healthcare provider, and I spent several weeks gradually extending my fasting windows. Started with 16 hours, then 24, before attempting the full 36.
That's exactly the approach recommended by fasting researchers. You know, a recent study showed that this gradual approach reduces the likelihood of adverse effects by about 60%. Did you experience any unexpected challenges during your fast?
The biggest surprise was actually psychological. Dealing with social situations around food was more challenging than the physical hunger.
That social aspect is fascinating and often overlooked in the research. Some anthropologists suggest that our modern constant eating pattern is actually quite unnatural compared to our ancestors' feast and famine cycles. How did you handle those social situations?
I found being open about what I was doing helped tremendously. Plus, understanding the science behind what was happening in my body made it easier to stick to my plan.
The psychological aspect of fasting is remarkable. Studies show that successful fasting can actually help reset our relationship with food and improve our ability to distinguish between true hunger and emotional eating. Have you noticed any lasting changes in your eating patterns?
That's been one of the most profound effects. I'm much more aware of my actual hunger signals now, and my relationship with food has completely transformed.
Before we wrap up, I think it's important to emphasize that while 36-hour fasting can be powerful, it's just one tool in the health optimization toolkit. What would you say to someone considering their first extended fast?
I'd tell them to start gradually, do their research, and remember that fasting is highly individual. What works for one person might not work for another.
Well said. The research clearly shows that personalization is key in fasting protocols. Thank you for sharing your experience. It's been incredibly illuminating to compare your personal journey with the scientific evidence.
Thank you for helping me understand the deeper science behind what I experienced. It's amazing how this ancient practice is being validated by modern research. Thanks for tuning in to the Wellness Lab Digest. If this episode helped you, here are 3 quick ways to support the show. 1. Subscribe to stay updated with fresh, body-loving wellness insights. 2. Share this episode with a friend who needs this today. 3. Comment below and tell us what topics you'd love to hear next. Want to do even more? Check the video description for ways to support the show. Stay curious, stay well, and we'll see you in the next episode.